our top story, which is Christian freaking McCaffrey. McCaffrey yesterday, the 49ers report that Christian McCaffrey was limited in practice due to a calf condition. This is via Matt Mayoko. So it was like, uh-oh, what's going on there? Panic struck. Things got crazy. And then there was this news. Can you guys read that okay, or is it kind of blurry? I can read it now. And now that I'm full screen, I can see it. Christian McCaffrey, who typically speaks to the media on Thursdays, wasn't in the locker room during that assigned time today. Now he's popped up on the 49ers injury list with a calf injury. This is via Matt B. Lively. Okay, so a lot of talk about, is this a repeat of last year? Is Christian McCaffrey going through the same calf strain, which led to the bilateral Achilles tendonitis with the micro tears? Is this the same story? Is it happening all over again? Or is this like Groundhog's Day? But before we get to all that, Sterling, what did you hear today coming out of Niners practice?
Well, we did see Christian McCaffrey on the side today doing some warm-ups. He did not then join the rest of the team, which isn't always too shocking. Christian is the video on screen there, perfect. Doing his own thing. He often does that before practice begins, so not too shocking there, but he was listed as a non-participant in the practice as a whole. So a DNP today leading into Sunday's game against the Seattle Seahawks. And if you got to listen to head coach Kyle Shanahan's post-practice press conference, where he did say Christian McCaffrey is indeed questionable heading into Sunday's season opener against the Seattle Seahawks, it was short, sweet, and sour. He's questionable. I don't want to talk about it. We're not going to get into it. It was basically, I'm so pissed off. I'm so angry. I'm so annoyed this is happening again that I don't even want to talk about it with the media or the fan base. Shanahan was not pleased, not happy. This seems to be, although yes, maybe categorized as a re-aggravation, they said this thing happened yesterday. This is a new injury. We don't know if it's related to what happened last year, but for those in the chat saying it's a wrap,
but there was some commentary from Tim Kawakami. He added this.
On ice
I'll just say that the 49ers were absolutely ratcheting up the pressure,
Christian McCaffrey,
intentionally or not, almost certainly
right
intentionally, on Jennings.
I'm
sort of surprised,
Aaron, the fact that Shanahan said that he didn't want to talk about it.
He can help them.
What is your feeling on the McCaffrey injury? Is it something that we're just making a big deal about, or do you think it's something that's very serious and it's something similar to what we experienced last season?
More, they're talking about bringing in.
You should see the response to the things that I've been
contract
tweeting.
That they're probably going to have to offer to Nick
I think
Bosa.
There was no room it wasn't
for
that big
a
of a deal,
Jauan Jennings
and that I was
contract.
it,
and I think all along, Jauan Jennings probably said,
and making
if
more
I
out
don't
of
get a
it than what it
contract
is.
by
When
the
it's
week
obvious,
leading up
it's a
to
big
the
thing,
game, I'm just going to show up.
Just based
and
on
just try and ball out moving forward. And that's what he has to do. He has to ball out
if this was
moving
just
forward
like a
and
passing
establish
injury,
himself
like
as the number one receiver.
somebody
So
stepped
come
on
the
his
offseason,
like somebody
he'll
stepped
be
on his
worth
calf, like with a
a
cleat or
lot more
something, and
money
grazed it
than what he is
and
now.
He got a little bit
now
of
we
like
also got some more
contusion.
updates from 49ers practice. This came courtesy of Nick Wagner, Dom Pooney, Kalia Davis, Yatir Gross-Matos, and Russell Gage Jr. all returned to practice today.
This team and its injury situation all the time. It's
for
like
the San
there's the
Francisco
one hand where
49ers.
you
Getting
can't
back
help things
Dominic
that
Pooney, your
happen
starting right guard, is huge.
And then there's this
but also getting
other
back
feeling
Kalia
of like,
Davis and
this
Yatir
has been an issue
Gross-Matos, who
since
has
John
missed
and Kyle
all
have
of
been here,
training camp.
and
But
it's
these are
just
guys
like
that add
the same
depth to the
old
defensive
shit
line. I'm
all
so
the
happy to
time.
hear that
And
these
it's
guys
really
are back on the
disturbing
field,
as a
practicing,
fan.
getting ready
Like I
for
told
week
you guys,
one
you guys
against
call me,
Seattle.
Debbie
And of course,
Downer,
Dom Pooney. I mean,
negative Nancy.
he's probably your biggest offensive lineman next to
it's
Trent
hard
Williams
to get
in terms of
engaged or
importance,
excited
in terms of overall
when
skill.
you feel like
And so getting
any
him
point
back
during the day,
and
you're
ready
gonna get
for
some
week one is going to be
tweet
huge
or some
for San Francisco. Now, guys,
quick
I will be
little
posting a
thing
video
from
later
Adam
this week
Schefter
giving
saying
you
that
my
one of your best
breakdown
players
of
is
why
hurt.
the
And
Niners
fact
are
that
going to win
it's
this
in his
game
lower-
and what my final
lower
score
body
prediction
again,
will be.
lower legs.
But, guys, let me know what you
just
think
like
in the
last year
comment
with
section
the
below.
bilateral
Are you
Achilles
excited about
tendonitis.
Jauan Jennings coming back?
If
Are
you
you
don't
excited
think
about
that's a
Dom
concern, I
Pooney,
don't know
Russell
what you're
Gage,
talking
Kalia
about. You're
Davis,
just trying
and
to-
Yatir Gross-Matos coming back? And do
the
you think
Brian
that
Robinson
Jauan Jennings'
move
injury was
now
just a
looked
ruse to
like
get a
a
bigger contract?
master
Leave your
stroke.
comments in the comment section below. Make sure
when
you
it
like,
comes
share, and
to
subscribe to the channel. If you want to
what they
support the
did.
channel, you can do so by becoming a member over on Patreon under Dre
I'm
Area
pretty
Sports.
irritated right
The
now
link
about
should
it.
be in the description down
All right.
below.
Because
Or you
it's
go to
like
my website, which is
came out of nowhere
nicotina.net.
Somebody
And there are
literally
memberships
tweeted
available
yesterday
under Dre
that
Area
this is, like,
Sports.
the healthiest the 49ers have ever been. They had I think everybody participating in practice yesterday And literally, 2 hours later, somebody came out to report that he's going to miss time, or not miss time. He was questionable, and it was like a calf injury. So I don't even know what to say at this point, man. It is disappointed is an understatement.
Well, let's go to Kyle Shanahan and hear what he had to say about the injury at the presser today. Let's go ahead and let's listen in.
Yeah, you're all right. Did not practice. Let's look at the wrong box.
Was he able to do any team drills yesterday, Kyle, or what happened during practice yesterday with him?
Yeah, he did a limited amount of stuff in practice yesterday.
What's your level of concern with his physical condition and his ability to play on Sunday?
It's questionable. Questionable concern. I'm not going to say anything about Christian, guys, or any of our players' injuries.
Is it fair to say, because he wasn't on the injury report Wednesday, that this is something that occurred yesterday?
Yeah, it came up yesterday.
Does Brian Robinson have a full?
Yeah, you're right.
Poor Larry, he got cut off there. All right, look, so this is my take on this. I really think that, does he have an injury? I think he felt something in his calf during practice and probably went over to them and said, hey, my calf feels kind of weird. Get off the field. But we saw him, what he was doing on the practice field today, jumping around. There's one here that I'll share with you guys where he's literally jumping like a rabbit. I better turn that off. There we go. But there he goes.
Really fast.
I know. But see, he's hopping around on his calves. He's stretching it out. He's moving just fine. To me, oh God. To me, what this says is this. It says that Kyle Shanahan says, okay, look, the word has gotten out that he has this calf injury and everyone's freaking out. So instead of saying like, he's fine, he'll be ready to go, he's going to play it up and be like, I'm not going to talk about Christian. It is what it is, because he doesn't want Seattle to be like, okay, he's going to play. You see, I fucking knew it. No, they're going to be like, is he going to play? I don't know. He looks pissed. Let's game plan for him not being there. It's just another decoy that he's going to try to use as an advantage for Sunday's game against Seattle. That's my take. Sterling, what do you think about what he said? And do you think his injury is legitimate?
Oh, I think Christian McCaffrey.
Or I should say serious. There you go.
I think when asking if this injury in particular is serious, I don't know. It could be minor. However, it's not just this injury. It's this year and last year's injuries combined into making a bigger conversation for all of us all as fans, because he missed 2 months last year because of the same injury or a similar one, and he had to go to Germany to get his Achilles fixed and hopefully come back, in which he did, but then he hurt his PCL. So while this injury could indeed be questionable, a small thing and whatnot, that doesn't mean that it can't linger or turn into something more severe, which I think is most fans' worry and concern. He went the entire offseason, OTAs, preseason, didn't play basically the entire year last year because of this injury, and they gave him every 2 days off. He practiced 2 days, had an off day. They handled him with kid gloves during this offseason in hopes he'd be ready by week 1. Now, I think he'll play this Sunday. How much, I don't know. I don't think Kyle is that great of an actor, to be honest with you. Kyle does let the mask down at times, and I think that for him, you're walking into a week having a game plan installed, and all of a sudden, bang! Hey, Kyle, my calf hurts. Okay, we'll adjust. Now, they have some time, and I think, again, CMC will play, but I don't think San Francisco is really in the business right now, at least of playing 4D chess with the Seattle Seahawks. I get it. It certainly helps if it's true, but I think there at least is some concern that with every snap he takes, is that the last one? Is the next one the last one? Which is not a place you want to be with what seems to be your most important offensive player this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that means a whole lot to their offense. I mean, on top of that, I'm glad that they got Brian Robinson Jr., B-Rob. I'm glad they got him on the team, that he can help carry the load. And I think he will. I think he'll get a lot more carries on Sunday. And plus, when you get down into those short yardage situations, I think B-Rob is going to be the guy that gets the ball on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1. Like, let's let him do that and not have McCaffrey go in there and just, sacrifice his own health to get a few yards. Aaron, what do you think? Is this cause for concern based on what Shanahan said? Do you feel like this is something that he'll be able to shake off by Sunday, or do you think this is a major issue with his calf?
I don't think it's gamesmanship. I think Kyle's legitimately irritated and disappointed. This isn't like we're trying to play coy with something and, we want to have the advantage with the Seahawks. I think it's a legitimate issue. I think it's a legitimate concern for 49er fans going forward that this might be just par for the course with Christian McCaffrey for the rest of his time with the 49ers. And the fact that they made the move to Brian Robinson in the offseason gives me the pause that I think they know it too, and that they had to guard themselves from it. And now the fact that we're going into week 1 and he's questionable, to me, all the comparisons when we got Brian Robinson is he could do a lot of the things that Christian McCaffrey can do. Maybe not to the extent, but he can catch the ball, he can do this, he can do that. He was the top guy in Washington. If I'm the 49ers, I don't even risk it. I sit McCaffrey Sunday and I play B-Rob. And that's it.
Wow. Really? You would sit him?
Yep.
I would not sit him.
You'd risk losing week 1 if it meant getting Christian McCaffrey back for, I don't know, the next 15 games.
Yes.
The Niners have to win their division games this year.
I know, but I don't think guys, this is huge, man. Like you said,
absolutely.
Building an offense
it could derail their entire season, like it did last year.
It's insane. I'm concerned with the long haul. Part of me isn't as concerned about Seattle as a lot of people are. Okay. And I'm usually, like you guys say, I'm the negative one here. I feel like Seattle's winnable, even with Brian Robinson as your starting running back. I think going into week 2 against the Saints is winnable without Christian McCaffrey's running back. And I'd rather have him against teams like the Rams down the road a little bit where you really need him to be fresh. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because he's had injury issues in the past. But when we got him in 2002, right? 2022.
Yeah.
And he was really good, and we had him down the stretch. Everything was fine. And then we used the hell out of him in 2023. And I feel like what we're seeing now is kind of a reflection of what happens when you take a guy like a Christian McCaffrey who's known to have had issues and just run him into the ground. And I think, I don't know if it's a Shanahan thing because, it happened to Terrell Davis, but this is, part of me is like, okay, give him some rest, bring him back against, a team that we need all hands on deck, and maybe sit him out the first 2 games. But I think it's based on how he feels. If he feels that he can go and he's not going to further injure himself, then I say play him. But man,
he's not going to say he can't go. That's the issue. The whole thing has been, we have to save Christian from himself. He's not going to say, I can't play, coach. He's going to say, no, I can go out there. I can get 20 touches. He's going to want to play on Sunday. And I don't think San Francisco is in a place this year, especially with the young defense that's really unproven. You heard Saleh say, enjoy the ride. And that ride can have some really great ups, but also some really low downs that can cost you some big games. The receiver room is kind of in disarray behind Jennings and Pearsall right now. The offensive line is still a big question. You can almost say you can't even afford to rest Christian McCaffrey week 1 with the other issues this team has. And I get it. We all want CMC out there. We know what kind of player he can be when he's healthy. But when you're over-reliant on guys that have that label next to them, if healthy, that backfires a lot. And it feels like right now, San Francisco, they're seeing the backfire. That you may have CMC for 10 games, but that can mean a missed playoff run and not down the stretch. Or in the first 5 games, you have 3 NFC West opponents. You have to start off hot this year. It gets tougher as the year goes on. So I think the concerns, the DEFCON 1 alerts, I think we should all be there. Because if he can't play, whether week 1, week 2, week 6, week 7, doesn't matter who the opponent is. The job gets 10 times harder without him being on the football field.
I mean, without him, it is a big difference. Now, when you look at a guy like Brian Robinson Jr., B-Rob, I like to call him, when you look at his PFF scores, his PFF grade, I should say, is 74.4. He has a 74.4 receiving grade. according to PFF. That's 9th among running backs in the league. So they went out and got a guy who can, was a good running back and who's good out of the backfield catching the ball because they don't want to lose that element if Christian McCaffrey is slowed down or can't go. And I think that going into Sunday's game, I fully expect Christian McCaffrey to start that game. But if anything comes up, any kind of feeling, any kind of, that feels a little funny, they're gonna scale him back, if not pull him out of the game, and let Brian Robinson take the ball, basically. But I do think that Christian McCaffrey will play on Sunday because he has to. I mean, look, if they start the season with this guy out, that's setting a bad precedent for the team going into week 1. I mean, he's got to play. He's absolutely got to play.
And then you mix in Jordan James, doubtful on the injury report too.
With a broken finger? I mean, come on.
Hey,
put a club on that.
That's a problem. But you could walk into realistically week 1 with Brian Robinson as your 1. Let's say CMC can't finish the game. Robinson as your 1, Garendo as your 2, and Sincere McCormick as your 3. That is not the worst place to be in. You've seen worse running back rooms in the league the last decade or so, even last year. But that is a far cry from who this team should be offensively, to a point where if I'm San Francisco, I get it. Maybe you want to hide things and mask things and play this somewhat 4D chess and try to maneuver things. Do you guys think it's worth starting to find not a replacement like for the long-term future, but in the immediate future, do you think it's smart for them to kind of further insulate themselves? Why do you have 11 to 10 defensive linemen? Why do you have 10 offensive linemen? Like, why are you carrying MVS? Like, to me, and there's reasons for those things, but with the injuries you have in the running back room, Kyle wants to run the ball 35 times a game. And if you can't do that, you have to find somebody that can.
Well, but that's the thing, though, with having Brian Robinson, him hearing that CMC's hurt, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get the ball now. He wants the ball. He wants to be a premier running back. And so I think that's a good thing that they went out and got him. Now, you got to remember, too, though, Christian McCaffrey has not been the guy that's like, oh, when it comes to durability, Christian McCaffrey is your guy. No, this guy has been hurt year after year after year. He went through, after 3 healthy seasons, he went through a number of injury-plagued seasons with the Carolina Panthers. And when we got him in 2022, then in the next year, we had him in 2023, we were fortunate that he didn't really suffer any massive injuries. Then look what happened last year, out for pretty much the whole season. He came back for a couple of games, then blew his knee out. So this guy really hasn't been the most healthiest guy in the league. He, for the most part, if he wasn't a Niner, before he even was a Niner, I always thought of him as kind of an injury-plagued player that sort of needs to have that Jonathan Stewart running back running alongside of you. Like, he needs to be a tandem back. And that's sort of what they went back to this season by getting Brian Robinson. Granted, they got him kind of late in the offseason, but I think they realized, like, hey, look, if McCaffrey can't go, we can't just hand the ball and say, okay, Garendo, you're it. Or, Jordan James with your broken finger that's kept you out for like almost 2 months, you're it. You know what I mean? No, they had to get somebody else in here who can handle the rock, and that was Brian Robinson Jr. But coming back to Sunday, I do feel that Shanahan is leaning really hard into this CMC injury. The fact that he didn't even want to talk about it, that brings up a lot of speculation, a lot of questions about why he wouldn't even delve into talking about his injury. And that can be looked at as a very bad thing for CMC's health. Personally, I feel like he's just doing that because he doesn't want to give anything away. He doesn't want Seattle to know if CMC's healthy or not healthy, or if he's going to go, if he's not going to go. He wants to keep that close to the chest as much as possible. I see the chat saying, oh, the Seahawks aren't that stupid. They won't fall for that. But as long as they're questioning that, as long as they're asking each other, okay, what if he doesn't go? That's all that matters, is that's a little bit of leverage that Kyle Shanahan is trying to use going into Sunday's game. Now, when we look at who else was there in practice, this is more of a side note, but I thought it was pretty cool anyway. I hate how they're always bumping like rap music, and I have to always kill the audio. But Patrick Willis, he was there at practice to help pump up the team. You can see there's Robert Saleh saying what's up to him. He was there to encourage the team as they head to Seattle. So that was pretty cool.
John was just doing his scratching head concerned.
He's like, fuck. Did you hear about McCaffery?
What's that?
Not the body language.
I know. He's like, oh, man, McCaffrey's hurt. We're screwed. Look at Kyle Shanahan, hat backwards. He's chilling.
That's the McCaffrey's healthy, head scratch. Yeah, sure.
I sure hope so. But I mean, look, okay, so let's go into Sunday's game. If there is not actually, before we do that, let's go to the super chat. We got Joseph Ernberg over on Sterling's side saying, season's over before it started. Trade big names for picks. Oh my God.
Now that's an overreaction. I know you're probably
Aaron, I mean, I think you guys were in lockstep. You must have been sending him notes.
That's Aaron's burner.
That's Aaron's burner.
I'm actually typing over here right now as we speak now.
Him giving super chats during our live stream to himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not monetized anymore, homie. I can't give those to me. I wish. It'd be nice.
But seriously, though, I mean, that is the extreme. We thank you for the $1.99 super chat. That's going right into Sterling's pocket. We love that. But at the same time, though, okay, let's go kind of jump ahead to Sunday's game against Seattle. If the Niners don't have Christian McCaffrey, do you think this affects the final score of the game? I mean, do you think having him would make a huge difference in them beating the Seattle Seahawks? And what adjustments are they going to have to make without having CMC? Sterling, start with you.
Yeah, I think when you walk into this game and you're facing a Mike Macdonald defense that likes to use, they like to, disguise press coverage. They'll play three safeties. They'll kind of disguise this two safety high defense, and they'll disguise their blitzes really well. And this defense, although San Francisco won the first game and put up 36 points against them in Seattle last year, it has and will give the offensive line some fits. So having a check down option for Brock Purdy in the screen game in Christian McCaffrey, if you don't have that, that's a pretty big aspect taken out of the game for you to have a quick read for your quarterback. And I think for Brock, we saw last year, he tried to have that Superman cape on too much last year and ran around with his head cut off, trying to find lanes to run and guys open and couldn't do it. And it cost them some games last season. So I think not having Christian McCaffrey, although doesn't condemn San Francisco to a loss, I do think it takes my confidence level down. I think it takes how efficient San Francisco's offense can be down a tick to a point where if you're the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to stack that box and say, we dare you to beat us downfield because we know you only have Pearsall and you only have Jennings. Well, Pearsall's great and hopefully he can have a big year two jump. Jennings really isn't a deep threat. And if you got a cornerback that can get press coverage against Pearsall and he can't free up, you are going to hinder San Francisco's offense. So I think the chess match between Kyle and McDonald is arguably was and still is the biggest key to victory for San Francisco, but not having Christian McCaffrey, I think, limits how good San Francisco's offense could be to a point where I had them scoring 27 points coming into the week. I may bring that down towards 23, 24.
Aaron, what do you think? Is the score going to drop in terms of their total points without Christian McCaffrey?
Oh, yeah. Sterling made a good point. Like how much of their offense was built on the game plan this season, and especially for this game, built on Christian McCaffrey. It's got to be massive. They want him to touch the ball in the run and the pass game. He's kind of the Mr. Do-It-All. He can hurt you in multiple different ways, and he unlocks the offense because it makes you play honest across the board with different players. And like Sterling said, if you have only a guy like Pearsall and Jennings out there, neither of who you would consider burners. I mean, Pearsall has the wiggle, he can get open, but neither of them would you consider burners. They could really, really stagnate this offense on Sunday. And yeah, it's a huge concern. I don't even maybe 20 points. I mean, if they could somehow get the pass protection to hold up in this game and give Brock some time, maybe he can have an efficient game. But yeah, having Christian McCaffrey questionable and possibly missing this game, maybe that's why Kyle's so angry. Because he's got at the final hour, he's got to change up his offensive approach going into Seattle in a game like Sterling said. He wants to run the ball 35 times. The Niners are a run first team. They are not a drop back pass offense like a lot of these teams are in the NFL who are predominantly pass first, run second. The run sets up the pass with this offense. It opens up a ton of things. The Niners aren't your traditional shotgun 50 times a game throwing the ball. It's not what they do. I noticed similarities between them and teams like the Dolphins when people were able to take the running game away with Miami, and you force Tua to drop back and kind of be a drop back quarterback. Those offenses are just not built for it. They're a lot of misdirection, a lot of trickery, a lot of a window dressing, a lot of movement. And when you know none of that movement needs crap because the main guy that you're trying to facilitate the offense through is either hampered or not playing, it would be a huge disadvantage for the Niners. I went from being insanely comfortable with this game, which is weird because I'm so negative all the time, to 50-50 in my mind right now that whether they win or lose this game. It's that much of a situation, at least for me.
How much of this game, now that Christian McCaffrey is questionable, let's say he does play, but do you guys think San Francisco has the firepower? Do you believe in Brock enough? Do you believe in Kittle enough? Do you believe in this offense enough to overcome not just Seattle's defense, but on San Francisco's defensive side? Do you believe they can hold Seattle's offense to under, let's say, 20 points or under 23 points in this game?
No, I think that at the most, Seattle should be able to score anywhere from 20 to 23 points off the Niners defense. I mean, look, there's been a lot said about the youth movement going on with the Niners defense. But I think that when you look at the talent level that they have, I think they're going to make a huge impact, especially on the pass rush and especially against the run. We know Seattle, who was one of the worst running teams in the league, is looking to reestablish their running game. They're going to test this young defensive line. They're going to run the ball down their throats. And I think that the Niners are going to be ready for that. Where I think the Seahawks have an advantage is that they're going to try and beat them over top, especially after they start running the ball. They're going to try to use play action to go over the top and get big plays off of the questionable Niners secondary outside of Lenore and Bernardo Green. But even Green, for me, is still a little bit questionable as well because this is his second year. I mean, he had a good rookie season, but can he back that up? We saw Jair Brown have a good rookie season, but come back and have a horrible second year. And now we're at a point where we're like, is Jair Brown starting? Oh, maybe he shouldn't, because maybe they should go with Siegel and Pinnock. Well, I haven't seen a lick of Pinnock his entire preseason. Yeah. But,
it isn't always a bad thing, though.
It isn't always a bad thing. It isn't always. I mean, we didn't see any McCaffrey as well, but like the video I'm seeing of McCaffrey jumping around, hopping around, doing all his stuff. To me, this guy doesn't look like a guy who's suffering from any kind of calf injury. I think something came up, and they took a massive precaution in keeping him out to make sure that he's ready for Sunday's game. And I think that Kyle Shanahan's like, you know what, I'm gonna lean on that as something that I could try to use to my advantage because what am I going to say? He's fine. Then all of a sudden, like, something bad happens and he can't play, and it's like, oh, I guess I was wrong. No, he's just like, I'm not going to say anything.
That's a good point. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Aaron.
Do you think this is one of those injuries that maybe it's just? I hate to say this, and I don't know. As I'm kind of talking myself out of it as I'm saying this. So we all know Kittle always wears this strap on his shoulder, like he has a torn labrum or something. So technically, if you wanted to, you could put Kittle on the injury report every week. Do you think it's maybe one of those injuries where it's more or less like a wear and tear type thing, and that it's really not that serious as far as re-injury or getting worse, and so they're just being precautionary? Like, because you're right. I mean, he's bouncing all around there, and that is a little. I got blasted so bad for being negative about this, but like I'm starting to kind of look at that video and maybe convince myself that things aren't as bad, and maybe it is a bit of gamesmanship. I don't know, man. Like I'm conflicted. Like the bad side of me is like you're the previous commenter who says the season's over, trade all the big names, and then the other part of me is like, oh, maybe it's just gamesmanship. Maybe he's really not all that hurt, and they were just trying to protect him from himself because he tends to go hard.
The guy barely played at all last season. I think he's a little sore. And I think they're being extra cautious. Now, guys, here we go. We have some breaking news, you guys. This comes courtesy of Matt Mayoko. He says, Christian McCaffrey says he feels great physically. He said he's proud of himself for feeling something Thursday and doing the smart thing, pulling himself out of practice. I've been there before, and I've been my own worst enemy in situations like that. So there you go. Do you think now? Let me ask Sterling. Sterling, do you think this is just, him trying to save face, or do you think he's being really honest about this assessment about his injury?
Christian never comes across as a liar or disingenuous to the media. That said, why couldn't he tell the media yesterday when he was supposed to talk to him?
Maybe he was getting treatment at that time.
Maybe, and that is a high possibility. So I'm not going to hold it against Christian or anybody else. But why couldn't Shanahan say that? Like, he knows that McCaffrey is talking to the media after he talks to him anyways. So why not just say that? Oh, Christian feels great. He's fine. We were a little worried, but nothing too big. Like, CMC's going to talk to the media right after you do. The quote's going to get around no matter what you say because it's coming from the horse's mouth an hour after you talk. Mm-hmm. So what is the point of playing this? Like, do you think the Seahawks PR team and their coaching staff only watches one person's press conference and doesn't have intel on every other team in the entire league? Like, teams leak, teams talk. They know when they see Christian McCaffrey right now, because Matt Mayoko is the team's reporter via NBC Sports, is saying, yeah, I feel great. I felt something. I didn't want to risk it, so I didn't practice. That's fine. I don't blame CMC for doing that. Good on him for not doing what he usually does and pushing through things and making things worse. That said, this doesn't give me any less pause, though, because you still felt something. Like, your calf acted up in some way, whether it was something small, minor. I mean, I've had surgery. I know Aaron's had surgery. Sometimes things just don't take. CMC didn't have surgery on his calf. He had ultrasound and Germany stuff. I just think that
Germany stuff.
German stuff.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch. I like Leon's take right here.
Understand
because he doesn't have to. He likes watching us squirm and sweat.
Right. And that's not incorrect. Like, Shanahan can, play the straight man and be like, I don't know. Yeah, Christian's fine. I don't know. Whatever. No, I don't want to talk about it. But CMC's going to talk it right after you do and explain what's happening, and it's going to get out anyways. And maybe that's why Shanahan was like, talk to Christian, which, okay, fine. But, like, it's not as if the reports are going to be different or it's not going to get out as to how CMC feels. Like, just be honest and truthful. We're going to see it anyways. It's 2025. It's social media age. There's Twitter. There's X. There's Twitch. There's YouTube. Like, it's going to get out. Just say what's happening. Be transparent. It's not like you're going to have the Seahawks make 2 game plans and then go, oh, we don't know what to do on Sunday. It's the NFL. Like, these guys are prepared 100% every time.
You think Shanahan's just being a moody prick like he usually is? And just think...
Mike yelled at him in the press conference.
Here's a little clip of Shanahan today.
I didn't know arthritis and tendonitis were different. That's just my lack of education on being a doctor. But no, he's just questionable dealing with his calf.
Okay, he isn't.
He's such an ass.
I'm telling you right now, he's being an ass. I think he's just playing this like, hey, screw you guys. Nobody knows. He would rather see everybody freak out.
Like, I have control over you, and I'm going to make you know that.
That's a bitch move right there. I don't understand why you do that.
He was probably staring right at Grant when he said that too.
Yeah, when he said something about somebody being uneducated, yeah, 100%.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're all right.
Did
not practice.
I mean, even that where he's like, hold on, yeah, did not practice. He already knew that.
That the most egregious part of his clip is how he swallows that water right into the microphone. It sounds disgusting.
He does one of those like headless ASMR channels
any team
where you don't
yesterday,
see the
Kyle,
face.
Or what happened?
Tapping a microphone.
Yeah, he did a limited amount of stuff in practice yesterday.
What's your level of concern with his physical condition and his ability
telling
to
you.
play on Sunday?
Questionable concern.
It's questionable. Questionable concern. I'm not going to say anything about Christian, guys.
Look, he's smiling. He's literally smirking.
He's such a narcissist.
Like, to me, he's just playing. He's just like, I'm not going to tell you anything.
You know, he's more of a narcissist than his father was. His father could be wound pretty tight.
He's got that Chuck E. Cheese grin.
That's my brother's nickname for one of my nieces because she has kind of that Chuck E. kind of. So yeah, like when he. That's funny that you said Chuck E. Cheese. Chucky.
Look, Do I think he'll play this Sunday? I do. I think he'll be out there. And I think they may have a game plan where he's not going to get a ton of snaps. He's going to share the role with Brian Robinson. It's what should happen.
But do you think that's what they do? Because they never do that, even when they're supposed to. Even when he came back from the injury last year.
But here's the thing,
CMC,
though.
20 touches.
But when you look at a guy like Jordan Mason, right? That wasn't a guy that they were going to throw the ball to. It wasn't. Even though he practiced on catching the ball in the offseason, they never threw him the ball. Brock never looked his way. And so I'm hoping that with a guy like Brian Robinson, who's more established, that he'll feel more comfortable looking for him in the flat, looking for him in the check down to keep the ball moving and to throw him the ball, because he wasn't doing that with guys like Eric Saubert. He wasn't doing that with guys like Jordan Mason. It was either Jennings or bust or George Kittle.
The pass catching isn't the problem. It's Christian McCaffrey taking hits in between the tackles, having his calf and his Achilles rolled up on or grabbed onto as he's trying to pull away from somebody. Like, that to me is the concern. Getting Christian wide open in the flat is not the problem. That's how he should be used more often than not, with Robinson being the guy taking the brunt of the carries in the tackles, where you want to get CMC on the wide zone stuff, get him outside, let him run behind Trent and use check and Kittle, free him up so he can have free lanes to run. Yeah, Robinson can come in and spell him for a certain stint because he has a pass catching ability. But my concern is that Kyle is not going to move on this. Bobby Turner is not one to say, let's rotate the running backs to preserve their health. It's like, no. Get out there, take 20 touches. They need to get hurt. The next guy's up. And that
but they should, though. I mean, they need to monitor how much of a load he's carrying. I mean, why wouldn't you at this point?
Because they're stubborn. They're stubborn. His dad was the same way. Dude, they shortened Terrell Davis' career to 5 years, man. Like,
and he was really good, too.
And then he was nothing. And he was gone. So,
Hall of Famer with a short career. Okay, guys, let's take a quick, we got a break. We got some breaking news that's hitting right now. Here's Christian McCaffrey talking. Look at Matt Burrows.
With a shirt on in the background.
Man.
Looking like
what is Matt Barrows doing? What is happening right now?
He has his phone or his microphone under.
He's so small.
Wow, he is a small guy.
Matt.
Oh yeah, he's a little guy.
Matt's the best, man.
He's like Captain Picard, but not.
Who's that guy in the background? Who's that?
It's Jordan Jefferson. Then
he's like, man, this guy ain't gonna play on Sunday.
That was the guy they said was Trent Williams last year. Remember when they showed that sideline picture?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. All right, here we go. Here's Christian McCaffrey talking about his injury.
Nothing serious. Like I said, I feel great about where I'm at. Unfortunately, you have an injury history that I have. Sometimes when you don't practice, things get blown out of proportion. But like I said, I feel great.
Does it feel different than it felt last summer?
Yeah, I've forgotten about last year. I forgot about the year before that. I'm focused on this week and playing Seattle.
That's my dude right there. That's why I love him.
Just the kind of thing in practice where you felt something and you just want to be real cautious with it. Is that kind of what happened? Yeah, I'm not supposed to go into anything that happened, but I felt like it was a smart thing to do to not finish the practice because I've been there before and I've been my own worst enemy in situations like that. And I'm just proud of myself for not doing that again.
Can someone tell everyone to shut the fuck up in the background? Hey, you guys, shut up!
I'm surprised we didn't get a good old towel slip behind us because he's changing his pants behind us.
Yeah, I know. He's like, should I drop my pants?
Why does it sound like he's at like mid-court at like a YMCA basketball?
Well, he's in the locker room right now for sure.
Okay.
Well, yeah. No, he's in the bathroom.
Yeah, there are guys in there talking and chatting it up. I'm sure there's some dudes playing basketball in there too because there always is.
All right, here we go.
Is that going to factor into the decision? Are these 2 weeks off?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, play once every, twice in 14 days. Should be all right.
Okay, well, there we go.
There's a lot in there.
There's that look right there. He's looking at him like, should I drop my pants right now? Am I on camera?
I'm gonna cover myself up.
Is this going to be a problem?
There, in that clip, though, there was one of two things I took away. One, Christian said, playing once, twice, every couple of weeks shouldn't affect me too much. That to me says the long-term effects, he's not worried about them.
No,
that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But two, him saying I'm not supposed to reveal what happened, Did he get stepped on? Did he fall down? Was he digging around during practice and like something happened and was like, oh man, playing hopscotch with Kittle? Like,
or him and his wife trying a different position and that one of them fell? Like, what
happened? My calf! Look, when I heard calf injury, my first response is, dude, somebody throw him an extra $4 million. It usually makes those things go away. Jauan Jennings is like, yeah, 4. Hey, go 5.
Yo, man, go 5, man.
5.
Drastically
They
better.
undo the Jauan deal and give Christian the incentives that he already got laptop fees and didn't play for. Gosh.
That's terrible. Can you imagine?
The quote, it was hard to hear, but the direct quote was, I feel great where I'm at. Unfortunately, the injury history that I have, sometimes you don't practice, things get blown out of proportion.
There you go.
Is he fine? He sounds like he's fine now.
I think he's a lot better off than
we overreacted. I'm sorry.
We do it for clicks, for the 6 people that watch, people.
Oh, man.
So right now, actually, thank you for bringing that up. Right now, we have a total of 647 watching right now. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all 3 channels, Dre Area Sports, 49ers Access, and 49ers First Takes. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow our accounts on X as we go live every week for Cover 3. And we all have our own shows. I'll be live with Aaron on Mondays for Empire 49ers Empire State of Mind.
No, it is just Empire State.
No, I don't live in the Empire State, so we got to change the name.
But remember, I told you it no longer was a New York-based show because I can't get people to ever agree that live in New York. So it more encapsulates the Niners Empire.
So it's 49ers Empire.
State of Mind.
State of Mind.
It's the Empire State of Mind podcast.
Why did you say that name?
Because that's the name.
So there you have it. We heard it from Christian McCaffrey. He says he's fine. Things get blown out of proportion. Content creators flip out for no reason. I
would not say no reason. There's every reason to, when you see Christian McCaffrey and calf injury, to say, oh my God, this guy is falling. The season's over.
The Dre Area Sports Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use promo code Dre Area Sports to save $20 on your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. And we are also brought to you by Taryn Roy, the SEO Optimizer. If you're looking to boost your YouTube channel, then check out the SEO Optimizer. Use promo code Dre Area Sports to start your free trial today. Power Brand Systems. If you're looking to build a website for your small business or YouTube channel, then check out Power Brand Systems. Use promo code 300POWER to save up to $300 on your first purchase at Power Brand Systems.